In Elixir d'Amore, it's very important to have a young cast. You have to create really a special chemistry between the characters, and it has to be very fresh.
I'm Sarah SHAFER, and I'll be playing the role of Adina in The Elixir of Love.
I'm Christopher Tiesi, I'm a tenor, and I play Nemorino.
If you see them in the street, you think that she is Adina and he's Nemorino. So it's so natural to give them these characters. And they have both the perfect voice to fit these characters.
I love Adina because she's so kind of complex and flawed in a way.
He's played as the country bumpkin, the kind of simpleton of the town, but really he may be naive and unaware of what's going on around him, but he's very smart, he's in love with the idea of love, and he's certainly in love with Adina.
I always feel as if they grew up together and that he's always kind of been in love with her and always wanted her, and she's always pushed him away.
When Adina keeps rejecting him, he's kind of desperate. He needs something. There's a soldier that's coming to town.
Belcore is just completely full of himself and thinks that everybody is in love with him, whether they are or not. And he's just kind of a punching bag for the opera. I
think she knows what an idiot he is and what a blustering, person that he is.
I am so excited to do Belcore for the first time. This is my first foray into bel canto.
Craig VERM will be a fantastic Belcore. I mean, for one thing, he's not as cute as I am, but he is a relatively handsome young man. And he will have that sort of bravado and that sort of machismo that Belcore needs. It's run. I mean, it's a very sexy role. And I was already booked doing something else, Dulcamara, so I couldn't do the sexy role. But they got someone else who could do it pretty well, too.
Any scene that Kevin Burdette is in, you're going to look at Kevin. It's impossible. He steals any and every scene that he is in, and it's just pure magic.
Dulcamara is like a used car salesman. He's a Dulcamara. He is very smart. He's a doctor, and he's facile with words. His first aria is just a rapid-fire list that goes on and on and on of all the things he can do. He's sharp, but he's probably a little bit shady, and he's sort of an old-school snake oil salesman.
This is kind of how it all begins. He buys 100% into the fact that this is the real love potion, when really it's a bottle of wine.
When he has the elixir and all the girls are around him, she finally comes to her own, realizing what was there the whole time.
When Dulcamara stumbles onto the scene, runs into the scene, and sees all of the ladies' chorus and the characters who's Janetta, I believe, all fawning over Nemorino, and Dulcamara stops, thinks for a second, and thinks, my elixir works.
He takes a big journey and ends up loving her. When he struggles, then he realizes what love really is, I think.
This production is literally the most charming production you will ever see.
I think it's a wonderful balance between being a comic opera, but also with a lot of melancholic and sentimental aspects.
I see it as a romantic comedy where it's sort of two people who are destined to be together can't quite see it, or if they do see it, they're sort of avoiding it, and they need some machinations, some external machinations to sort of push them toward it. One being Belcore, who sort of has an eye on Adina, and one being Dulcamara, who has an eye on money.
In order to heighten the comedy that is The Elixir of Love, Stephen Lawless and his team have updated it to post-World War II Italy. And he's found within that era very distinct characters. Nemorino is a poor, dirty car mechanic. Dulcamara is a pinstriped snake oil salesman.
Setting at the 1940s, I mean, you can sort of, there are cultural references even in that you can sort of allude to that resonate with the audience and resonate with the performer that you just can't do in a straight-up period piece, which I love.
I want you all to buy a ticket so you can see for yourselves.